Hi there, Alex Javaris here. For this demo, I'm going to be drawing a portrait in charcoal of my buddy Dylan. Even though I'm working in charcoal, I'm going to be using the same mass drawing technique that I use when I'm painting, establishing the larger areas of light and dark before working on the details. I'm using soft vine charcoal on medium grain Ingres paper by Fabriano. I'm starting by mapping out the shadows with a few simple lines to act as a guide, placing the eye sockets, the shadow under the nose, the side plane of the head, the hair and the beard. Notice how at this early stage I'm only using straight lines. I'm trying not to get caught up in any intricate outlines. I'm only working with broad simple shapes. Pretty early on, I'll start massing in the darks, putting the charcoal down quite heavily onto the paper. I often find I can only really see if my shapes are accurate after the darks have been added. I'll then unify the charcoal into a single overall tone by rubbing it into the paper with my thumb. I can then start adjusting my shapes by lifting the charcoal off with my fingers, locking into the area around the eyes and nose. As I get more accurate, I'll start adding a few dark accents. Here I'm using a device called a stump, basically a piece of paper rolled into a point to lift out some of the more intricate light shapes that are too small for my fingers. Now in his book, The Practice and Science of Drawing, Harold Speed actually complains about the use of the stump. He didn't think charcoal should be used in this way, and a mass drawing technique like this should only be used when painting. He much preferred line drawing and hatching, like in earlier Renaissance drawings, and he's probably right. This isn't the easiest way to use charcoal. I generally find it quite fiddly. As a medium, charcoal on paper is a lot less forgiving than oil paint. There's only so many times you can correct and adjust your drawing before you scar the paper and make a complete mess. And quite a few of my charcoals end up in the bin. But when it is successful, this way of working does produce quite a cool effect, particularly with the soft smoky edges. And it enables you to get really solid darks very quickly, which if you were trying to build them up by hatching would take absolutely ages. When I'm completely happy with the drawing, I'll finish off by lifting off the lightest highlights with a kneaded putty rubber. I'll always make sure I'm 100% certain before using the rubber. Because it leaves a residue, if you go over where the rubber's been with more charcoal, you'll end up leaving greasy marks. So there you have it, a portrait in charcoal using mass drawing, completed in 2 hours. I hope you enjoyed watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more demos.
Everyone is a temper proof.